Hey everyone, Megan here from meganmins.com, and today I'm going to share with you how to use the Pomodoro technique to stop procrastinating and stay focused. I've been using the Pomodoro technique for several years and almost every single workday because it really helps me avoid distractions, stay focused, and also accurately assess how much I can get done in a single day. It also really helps me get started on a task when I just feel a ton of resistance and don't want to do it. It really helps me stop procrastinating and get some work done. So what is the Pomodoro technique? The Pomodoro technique is a productivity strategy where you work for 25 minutes straight, undisturbed, and then take a 5-minute break afterwards. Each 25-minute session is called a Pomodoro. So one 25-minute session equals one Pomodoro. And after you've done 4 Pomodoros in a row, so you've done 25 minutes with a 5-minute break 4 times, it's recommended that you take a little bit longer of a break, maybe 15 minutes or 30 minutes, and give yourself a little bit of a rest. This is based around the idea that if you work for 25 minutes straight without any distractions, then you will actually end up getting work done faster and more efficiently, even though you're taking those 5-minute breaks. But now I want to show you how to actually use this simple technique in your day to stop getting distracted and stay focused so you can get more done. I find that the Pomodoro technique is the most powerful when you actually plan out your Pomodoros in advance. Now, I love to do this the night before and actually have a whole video on how I plan my day the night before, and I talk about Pomodoros in that video as well. But it can be the same day. It can be right before you sit down to do a work session. Either way, if you just take a few minutes to plan in advance, you are going to get the most bang for your buck out of doing the Pomodoro technique. So what I like to do is look at my day on a calendar, see what meetings and appointments and events are already scheduled and committed to, and then see how many Pomodoro sessions I can actually fit in my workday. So I will really do this on Google Calendar. I'll drop in Pomodoro 1, Pomodoro 2, Pomodoro 3, and really start to map out where my longer breaks are going to be, but also how many Pomodoros does that really leave me with in the day? You might think you have 16 Pomodoros to do in a day, but the reality is you probably don't have that many. So this is a great first step because I get to see really tangibly how much time I have in the day to get work done without distractions. Then the next thing I do is I actually look at my task list, my to-do list for the day, and I start breaking those into the Pomodoros. So if I have 3 Pomodoros in the morning before a meeting and I pick out my most important tasks and guess how long they're going to take, I will assign them Pomodoros. So some tasks might take longer than 1 Pomodoro, so I will actually block out maybe 3 Pomodoros back to back, all to work on creating a video script or recording a video. Now, it's okay if you don't know how long something is actually going to take you to do. That's one of the main reasons I love the Pomodoro technique, is because you start to learn. By using this technique and guessing how long something is going to take you, you'll actually very quickly see if it takes you longer or less time, and it really allows you to learn over time how long things take you to complete. So for now, just guess based on your experience, based on how quickly you think you can work that day. You might have historically just said you were going to work on your blog post for the whole day, but instead you might say, okay, I'm going to try to get the entire blog post done in 3 Pomodoros, and you'll map it out and you'll base your day around that. And then when you sit down to do it, you'll either work a lot faster because you have a time constraint, or you'll realize it really takes 4 Pomodoros or longer or less, and then you can adjust your plan next time. Either way, you're starting to learn how long things take you, which is just ultimately going to make you better at planning and using the Pomodoro technique going forward. I also love using the Pomodoro technique when I have a really full to-do list, because you can very quickly see where you've overcommitted and what you need to change. You might look at the day you have planned and see that you can just not get all of your to-dos done, and it gives you a chance to reorganize things in advance. So either you realize you need to work a little bit longer that day, maybe you need to reschedule a meeting, or maybe you just need to reprioritize your to-do list and reset your expectations and let people know if things need to be shuffled around. One of the simplest and easiest ways to actually do this planning, besides Google Calendar, which is what I do on a day-to-day basis, I also use and love the productivity planner. The productivity planner is based around the Pomodoro method. So what you'll see, let me flip to a day. So I'll have screenshots or like a link to this planner beneath this video if you want to see better close-up shots. But basically, see if this will focus. It allows you to pick your top priority tasks for the day and then guess how long it's going to take you think it's right here. You'll put in how many Pomodoros you think it's going to take, and then you'll fill in the circles as you complete your Pomodoros, and then you'll write down how long it actually took you. So when I first started using the Pomodoro technique, this was a huge asset because, like we were talking about, that reflection piece is so important and valuable in this process that I was really easily able to see on paper where I was off on how long I thought something would take and how long it actually took. So I love using the Pomodoro planner, and I still use it, especially on busy days. So there'll be more information on this below this video if you're curious, but it's one of my favorite resources if you're using the Pomodoro technique. So those are the basics of how I like to use the Pomodoro technique to get more done. But to really do this well, I have a few tips I want to share with you to making your Pomodoros the most effective and actually getting the most out of this strategy. So the first essential piece of this puzzle is cutting out distractions. If you sit down to work for 25 minutes and allow yourself to get distracted, you haven't really done a full Pomodoro, and you're going to see that in your outcome and your results from the day. Nothing should get in your way and distract you from your work. So definitely make sure you're on airplane mode or do not disturb on your phone, and also close any tabs and windows and applications that you do not need open. Only have up and open on your computer or on your table, wherever you're working, what you need for the task at hand. Another essential piece of cutting out distractions for me is wearing noise canceling headphones. I actually have mine right here. They are essential to staying focused for me when I'm doing a Pomodoro technique because I can so easily get distracted by the noises around me. Since I work from home, that could be dogs, that could be anything. So by wearing those noise canceling headphones, I really easily zone out and get focused on my work, and it kind of gives you a more holistic approach to avoiding distractions besides just, muting your phones. Another tip is to have a place to capture ideas. I don't know if you've ever been in this situation, but you're really in the zone working on something, and out of the blue, you get a question or an idea or something you want to research, and it can totally throw you off and send you down a rabbit hole if you're not careful. So I actually like to have a journal next to me, a notepad, a sticky note, preferably not a digital note because I find that's easier to get distracted. But whatever works for you, either way, have a designated place that while you're focused, you can jot down any of those questions or action steps or to-do items that pop up while you're working, and you can tend to them later when you're not trying to get this focused work done. So definitely have a place to capture those ideas. I want you to be able to reference them later, but I don't want you to go down the rabbit hole while you're trying to do this focused work. Another key part of the Pomodoro technique is actually taking those breaks. I have so often been in the zone for 25 minutes, come up to a break and skip it, which, like, to each his own, but in my experience, that means that the next 25 minutes are usually subpar work. I maybe have 5 more minutes in me where I'm in the zone and something happens and I fall prey to getting distracted, or I realize I need to go to the bathroom or get a drink. And because I didn't take that 5-minute break when I planned on it, I end up kind of trying to do another 25-minute session and usually peter out within a few minutes. So in my experience, at least, really taking those breaks. Now, if you decide you want to work in different increments, totally make it your own. But whenever you decide you are taking a break, really stop what you're doing, move around. Don't just sit at your desk and do other tasks. Really take that full break so that you can have a really productive next 25-minute session. This also goes for those longer breaks. I really believe that to be a happy, healthy, productive worker, you need to take some longer breaks in your workday. So even if you've got a jammed to-do list, make sure you throw in at least a 30-minute break for lunch, maybe a few 30-minute breaks throughout the day to get some fresh air, to move around, to change locations, because that is how you're going to stay healthy and happy while you're working. Another tip for you is to actually use a timer. So I have totally been guilty of sitting down to do a Pomodoro and making a note of what time it was and then getting in the zone and working. And not only do I have no idea how far I am in the Pomodoro, I also forget what time I started, and the whole thing loses its entire structure, and I have no idea how long I really worked on something. And especially if you're new to using the Pomodoro technique, you want to leverage a timer to make it easier for you. So you can definitely use the timer on your phone if you want. You can use an app. There's plenty. I'll link to a few below this video that you can use either on your phone or on your desktop to help log and track some of those Pomodoros. Or you can use a physical timer, which I don't have it with me, but I used to use a physical kitchen timer all the time. It very recently died, so I haven't been using it. I miss it. But I found that using a physical timer was really helpful and tangible and made it where I didn't get distracted checking on the time, but I could kind of see where I was at a glance. After you've been using the Pomodoro technique for a while, I want to encourage you to customize it. So I mentioned this a minute ago, and I actually still use and love the 25-minute and 5-minute break increments, but I've talked to several people who really like longer sessions. They can do 45 minutes with a 15-minute break, or maybe they like 30 minutes with a 10-minute break, or still 5-minute break. I want to encourage you to make it your own. So if you've been trying the 25 minutes for a while and you're realizing that you are always in the zone at 25 minutes and you feel like you're cutting yourself off, then experiment with a different length Pomodoro. I think it's more about the structure in place than the actual time limits themselves, as long as you're still giving yourself a break. So whatever your Pomodoro is, make sure you have a break of some kind after each Pomodoro, and potentially a longer break after a series of Pomodoros as well. I wouldn't encourage doing this right out the gate. I would love for you to try the 25 minutes at first, but I want you to work in a way that works for you. So I do believe the Pomodoro technique structure can work even if you adjust the exact minute length of each Pomodoro. So that is how you can use the Pomodoro technique to stay focused, stop procrastinating, and get more done. I have mentioned a few different apps and resources, and some that I haven't specifically named in here that I will link below this video. So if you want to know exactly what headphones I use, or get a link, I'm looking for them, for my blue light blockers, which I think are essential if you're doing a lot of computer work, or any other of my favorite resources for doing an effective Pomodoro, just check the links below this video and you will see them all there. So now you understand how to use the Pomodoro technique, but if you want to get more done, you really do need to have a plan for your day, like I mentioned at the beginning. So that's why I want to offer you guys my free daily planner printable. You can enter your information in the link below this video and get that straight to your inbox right now and start using it to plan your day more effectively and integrate it with your Pomodoros. But now I want to hear from you. Have you ever used the Pomodoro technique, or maybe another similar productivity strategy to get more work done? I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. Share your experience or your best tips, and I can't wait to chat with you down there. And if you thought this video was helpful, please be sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and share it with your friends so I know to make more videos like this. I'll see you in the next one. Stop procrastinating. Oh my God. Oh no, the light's shifting. Could you tell? Why do I keep thinking that's gonna taste better? I'm taking, cool. Love having a dog. Ugh. Ugh, this tastes so gross. Do I look smart?